Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish about adding and subtracting rational expressions. Now, just like with any fraction that you've seen before, maybe something like, oh, I don't know, 1/2 plus 1/3. You need to have a common denominator. So here we'd multiply by 3/3, and here we'd multiply by 2/2. And so then we end up having 3/6 plus 2/6 equals 5/6. That's what we're going to be doing, but with polynomials. So we need to factor these in order to see what our common denominator is going to be. And factoring the bottom, we end up with, let's see, we have x plus 2 and x minus 1. And then our denominator over here, x plus 1, x minus 1. So we can see that our common denominator needs each of these factors, so x plus 2 and x minus 1, and it also needs both of these. Well, it doesn't have x plus 1 yet, but it does have x minus 1 already. We don't need to put another one in there. So now when we are creating our common denominator, we're going to multiply here by the missing piece here, so that would be x plus 1 on top and bottom. And over here we want to multiply by the missing piece, which is x plus 2. And when we do that, we end up getting our common denominator, which is x plus 2, x minus 1, x plus 1. And when we FOIL this piece out or use the box method, whatever you'd like for multiplying, we end up with x squared plus 4x plus 3. And over here we have the same common denominator, x plus 2, x plus 1, x minus 1. And multiplying the 2, or distributing, we have 2x plus 4. So then our final answer here, we just add these. We have a common denominator now. We have x squared plus 4x, and 2x is plus 6x. And 3 and 4 is going to be 7 over our common denominator here. Now this next problem is always something that students kind of get a little bit nervous about, just because there's so many fractions within a fraction. These complex fractions are really not that complicated. What we want to do here is look at these as two separate problems. So let's look at the numerator. That would be 1 over x minus 3 over 2, and that's being divided by, I'm going to put this in parentheses here, it's being divided by 1 over x plus 3 over 4. Now, what we want to do here is, again, continue treating these like separate problems. So I want to have a common denominator here, and in order to create that common denominator, which is going to be 2x, I need to multiply by 2 over 2 and x over x. And here I want to multiply by 4 over 4 and x over x. Now rewriting these fractions, I have 2 over 2x minus 3x over 2x. And that's being divided by, we have 4 over 4x plus 3x over 4x. And now what we're going to do is flip the second one and multiply. We can combine these pieces here. So since they have a common denominator, that would be 2 minus 3x over 2x, and now we're changing to multiplication and flipping the second fraction. So now we're going to have 4x on the top, and on the bottom we're going to have 4 plus 3x. Well, this looks just like what we were doing a few minutes ago. We need to just reduce things here. So the x's here can cancel, the 4 and the 2 reduce, and there's nothing here that we can cancel out. So simplifying this, our answer is going to be 2 times 2 minus 3x over 4 plus 3x. Distributing, we end up with 4 minus 6x over 4 plus 3x. And that's our answer and the end of section 6.